Testing, testing. All right, yo. I think you guys can hear me now. All right, yo. Okay, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the show. And if you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I will be talking about hot and cold behaviors in women. And so I do these YouTube lives every Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, what you can do is hit the like button, leave a comment down below, unsubscribe, share it to your friends. But anyways, let's go talk about the recap episode that's going to be related to what I'm going to be talking about today as to why women become hot and cold and the type of behaviors. And so the recap episode I'm going to be talking about is freedom is vital to love and attraction. So I talk about freedom a lot in relationship. It's because, or even if you're in this whole dating and courting phase, you want to make sure that you give a lot of freedom. You want to allow them to come and go as they please. And because in any type of relationship, in any loving relationship, love is about giving, love is allowing. So you want to make sure that you're allowing them the time and space. What's up, Crystal? Welcome. It feels like it's been a minute since I have not seen you here in a minute. But all right, so the slide I'm going to be talking about today is the more beautiful she is. You know, what's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? All right, so the more beautiful she is, okay? So we all basically have our own opinions of beauty and what beauty is. Basically, beauty is an eye of the beholder. But now, for most men, I always encourage men to look at them as they are, not what they want them to be. And so, in other words, you don't want to just look at women and be like, oh my God, you're the most beautiful person, and that you're going to overlook all the red flags. Basically, you don't want to have rose-colored glasses or shades. You were there, but I also didn't really see you on typing. Maybe you was there, but you didn't type as much. Okay. Let's see. Though, okay, encouragement. So look at them as they are, not what you want them to be. Basically, don't project your own feelings, okay? Though attractiveness, okay? Attractiveness superficially is important for men because most men are visual creatures and we mostly fall in love with our eyes, and that's kind of our problem. We're visual creatures. Women, they fall in love with their ears. It's how you make them feel. And so it is important to know that as the guy, you are also the catch. And it's because, especially when you start telling yourself this certain story and you don't think you're valuable enough, and the story that you consistently tell yourself, what ends up happening is you start putting yourself down. And especially if you're supposed to be the leader in a relationship or the guy in a relationship, and you're supposed to be the leader and you're not leading, well, guess what? It's gonna cause her to kind of step away. Women want to know that she is with a man that he thinks he deserves her, and not just the other way around. What's up, Twiddle? Okay, so it is important to understand that the guy himself knows that he is also the catch, but it also means that you got to be willing to do things and improve yourself, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. All right. So woman loves a man she thinks he deserves. It's easy to be stifled or actually bothered because of her beauty, because I get it, you know. And the most beautiful thing that you can do is, and this is what my coach says, he says beauty needs a witness. Beauty needs a witness. And it's like, well, if you see beauty and it's right in front of you and you're the guy, you're supposed to be the leader, well, you should go after what you want, willing to take the risk of maybe being rejected, maybe even being embarrassed. But no woman will ever, she might turn you down, she might be married, she might be in a relationship, but she will always accept that compliment. You know what I mean? Like you probably just made her day if you just walked up to her and just told her. So basically, it's easy to be stifled by her beauty, but true beauty is judged by a person's character. Okay, and character is destiny. And so, what are her goals? What are her values? If she, my question to you is, if you're a guy and you're watching this, like if you could not use your eyes for a single day, for 24 hours, would you still be attracted to her? What qualities does she possess? What's up, Emma? What qualities does she possess? Is she good to you, good for you, good for your soul? Does she make you happy? Does she make your life more difficult or not? Like, those are really important things, because especially if you're going to be spending most of your time with that person, you want to be able to have a good time with that person. So this is why it is super important for her to do the choosing. Now, when I say that, women, they kind of get a little flustered. They're like, why should we do all the work? And I'm like, well, I'm not saying that you do all the work, but majority. Okay, majority. And here's why. Part of feminine energy, and it's always better that it is her choice. It is always better that it is her choice, that she is the one that's choosing him. The reason why is because that is part of feminine energy. Feminine energy is about bonding. It's about connecting. It's about relationships labels, right? And it's about creating. And when I say creating, not just creating a certain type of relationship. Because how many times have you ever gotten a guy that tried to constantly chase after you? Why get defensive? My question is why. So some women, they get defensive about it because they don't like the idea of, well, why should I be the one that's chasing him? Why should I be the one that's chasing him? Because he should do the work too. It should be 50-50. But what ends up happening is when it becomes 50-50 and he does 50% of the pursuing and she does 50%, what ends up happening, it kind of ruins the sexual polarity, and it causes her to step away. Just naturally, she doesn't understand it, but she feels it. She's like, I am less attracted to him. So that is why. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's part of feminine energy to bond and connect. And it's also the guy's responsibility to respond to that. Because if she misses you, she wants your attention. So when you give her your attention, you give her your undivided attention, and you date her and you court her and you listen to her, why would she not want to be around you? And it does come up every now and then, and where it's like, well, she might say something like, well, how come it's always me that always have to come to you? And it's like, well, the guy just got to keep it playful and fun and just be like, well, this is because I just love it so much more when you come to me. And back to the whole 50-50 thing, like I said, it ruins the sexual polarity, because masculine energy is about purpose. It's about drive. It's about breaking through barriers, overcoming challenges. And so if you even look at it in this type of perspective, where most guys, anytime a woman always goes to a guy, when the guy listens to her problem, what's the first thing he wants to do? The first thing he wants to do is solve her problem. And when he tries to solve her problem, he basically is communicating that he does not understand her. And when you communicate to a woman consistently enough that you do not understand her, she's gonna be like, well, he doesn't understand me, so I'm just gonna pull away. And the more you pull away, and you constantly pull away more and more and more, eventually you start losing attraction. And so what ends up causing the guy to do is that what we call an illusion of action, where the guy feels like he has to go and do something in order to get her back. When he notices man in shining armor or sees a damsel in distress. Yeah, it's like this whole white knight kind of thing. And it's like, basically, as a guy, you have to be focused on your mission and purpose. You have to understand what you want and go after what you want. Now, if any moment he notices that she is not giving him any type of, well, women vote with their feet. So if she starts to pull away, then you just allow it to happen. It's kind of like a cat. Women are like a cat. And when she wants you, she will jump on your lap. She will be around you. And when she doesn't, well, guess what? She's going to go away. As a guy, you can't be bothered by that. You can't be stifled. You can't be perturbed. It should not move you, because she comes to you as this guy where you're this grounded rock in the ocean type of guy. But then if he's always unstable, and I'm talking about an emotionally unstable guy, he becomes this liability. She sees him as less than a man, meaning he is not as masculine. And so when you understand the difference between masculine and feminine energy, as long as a guy is understanding what what it takes to become a masculine guy, he will always attract her back regardless. And so she will constantly want his attention all the time. And when she comes, he gives her the attention, makes her feel loved, makes her feel heard, makes her feel understood. She's not gonna want anything from anybody else. All right. So anyways, let's go to the meat of the topic, okay? So let's talk about hot and cold behaviors in women. And why do women get hot and cold? Okay, why? Why does this happen? Well, there could be a lot of reasons, but some of the reasons could be that, number one, maybe there was an ex involved. There could be an ex. You don't know that. And I'm just talking about like the first, maybe you know, she's on a dating app or you saw her in the streets and you got her contact information. Being neglected. Maybe that too. Maybe she's just tired of it. But if you're doing everything correctly, let's just assume that this guy is doing everything correct. And, you know, you go on your first date. Everything's great. You guys kissed. Maybe you guys even did the late night, you know, Olympics. So, but then all of a sudden she's hot and cold. And it leaves the guy kind of scratching his head like, what's going on? I thought we had a great date. I thought we had a great time. So, and I'm assuming that he did everything right. So, number one, and not in any particular order, but there could be an ex involved who she might be a little bit more emotionally anchored. Let's just say she got out of a relationship. I don't know how long the relationship was. Maybe let's give it a 35-year relationship. So it's pretty long term. And she's finally able to get out and, you know, be willing to go out on dates. And she's like, you know what? Let me try to kind of go back out on dates and dating. And let's just say in this whole breakup, it wasn't even her idea. So she wasn't the one that even wanted the whole breakup in the beginning, because you don't know what you don't know. And so you can only contemplate and be like, okay, what could be going on? Why is she acting hot and cold? Well, one of the main reasons is because if she's more emotionally anchored to the ex, meaning that he has a lot more emotional leverage, meaning if he comes back and she didn't want to break up with him, but she had to because he wanted to break up with her. Now, if he's coming back, she might be a little bit more closer to him. So maybe on the first date, you had a great date, but then all of a sudden he comes back. That's one of the reasons, okay? Another one is that there could be more dating prospects for her because she's just like, hey, you know what? I have more options and I'm more busy and I get to have more selections. And women, especially women in beautiful women, they have more selections. And when they have more selections, well, guess what? She has more to choose from. And if she likes you, she's going to respond to your text. If she doesn't, well, guess what? You're not going to really hear much from her. So there's an attraction level that you have to understand too as well. There could be more dating prospects for her, okay? Also, another one is that she could be testing you. How? Well, she could be testing you because maybe she likes you enough where she doesn't want to brush you off completely, but you're doing more things wrong to push her away, meaning maybe you calling her not calling, most people text nowadays, right? So you're texting her too much. Maybe you have her phone number, but now you're also DMing her on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever it may be, whatever platform you guys are using. You're doing more things wrong than right. So that's why she's pulled back a little bit and she's testing you. And another one is that maybe you're just not her priority at this point. Like I said, it could be for any reason. It could be any reason. And it could be because of your type of behavior as the guy. If she was once hot for you and then the next minute she's not, usually is an attraction issue. But even with all those being answered, like, oh, why is she being hot and cold? The major question isn't trying to figure out why she's really hot and cold. The main question is, why is it bothering you so much? That's my main question. It's like, why is it bothering you so much that you feel like you have to have her? Like, what got you so wrapped up like a pretzel from this woman that got you basically derailed from the things that you're supposed to be doing as a leader, like what got you to that situation. And so remember that woman is looking for a leader, not someone who follows her, because as a guy, assuming that you're the masculine guy in a relationship, you're supposed to be the leader. And if you're no longer leading, well, guess what? She's not going to want to follow your lead. And a leader, it displays a lot of confidence. Being a leader displays a lot of confidence. And so if maybe you once was leading and now you're not, it's gonna drop her attraction level, and that's basically it. And so she might be hot one minute and then the next she's not. Basically you could have talked her out of her liking you, basically. Now, getting butthurt and upset about it doesn't get you anywhere. So don't take it personal. Do not take it personal. If she does not want to talk to you, it's okay. Don't take it personal. Let her know, hey, you know what? Have a great day. Or let me know when your schedule frees up or something like that. As long as you throw the ball back in her court, love is allowing. And you just got to allow her to come back to you. And if she does, and if she wants to, she will. So it's not about taking it personal. So it's not about you, but more about who you could become. So, and the more you continue to entertain her type of behavior, basically, if she's cold and you're constantly trying to get her, don't force it. Exactly, Bree. And the more you're entertaining that type of behavior from her, if she's cold but yet you're just basically you're forcing yourself in and be like, hey, so how's your day? Good morning. And she's not really talking to you. Maybe she's not really responding to you as quickly as she once did. It's an attraction issue. You're doing too much, and so back away. So like I said, the more you continue to entertain that type of behavior, the more it reinforces her idea of like, damn, I made the right choice. It's too clingy, right? It is not attractive. So, and if you entertain that, she's gonna be like, damn, I made the right choice. I made the right choice by I haven't even blocked him yet, but now I'm thinking about blocking him because he's being too needy, he's too clingy. And usually people that are needy and clingy, they also have other behaviors, such as they could be abusive. You don't know that. They become a little bit more aggressive because they didn't get what they want. They didn't get enough, hugs and, I love yous as a kid. And now it's like, well, he's starting to get that from another person. It's like, well, you gave me this before. Why didn't you give it to... Yeah, it's not attractive. So what is the pull and push thing that men do? It's so confusing because then I back away. Absolutely, you just back away. If a woman ever tells you that she needs more space, it means that you're smothering her. No woman has ever told me, well, in the beginning, earlier days, but now no woman has ever said you're smothering me. Why? Because I don't even give them the chance to say that. If anything, if she comes to me, the door's open. All I have to do is just walk in. But if she decides that one day she's like, you know what, Mitchell, I don't like you anymore. Of course, she's not going to get up and tell me that, but I'm just going to be like, oh, match and mirror her actions. If she doesn't want to talk to me, why would I spend my valuable time that I could never get back with somebody that does not respect me as a person? And if there is no respect from a woman, you will never, ever have her. She would never be able to love you. I had a guy like that. I had zero patience with him. Didn't last because he was wanting to move in within 3 to 4 months. I've just said that you are too damn clean. You said that, okay? So if you had to say that, it's like, back the hell up. And so it's Bree, thank you. It is very, very unattractive when a guy over pursues. That's why it is always better if she knows that she likes you more than you like her. Okay, and I'm not saying this as to run game on her, but it's more like, as a guy, you should be focused on the things that you should be doing. you're not gonna have a lot of time on your hand, and you're not as accessible, in other words, meaning that you're a busy person, because while you're focusing on the things that you need to do, and if you're busy focusing on the things that you need to do, you're not gonna have a lot of time to chit chat on text. You're gonna have enough time to be like, hey, I would love to take you out on a date. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more, but right now I'm busy. Especially when I say I just want to be home with my son and spend time with him on my days off. Yeah, that just tells me exactly that you're just not interested. You're not interested. Oh, we got some people coming in. Let me just wait for them to close the door. All right. So, let's see. Okay, where was I? So, getting butthurt and upset doesn't get you anywhere, so don't take it personal. And the more you continue to entertain, okay, we got that, because, okay. Now, basically, the ending of this slide is basically, you just gotta let her come to you. Woman does the choosing. Men do the pursuing in the beginning. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Men pursues in the beginning. And you have to understand how the dating and courting phase works. Because if you don't, you're gonna over pursue. And if you over pursue, you're gonna lose her. And if the right woman, the one that kind of gets you all like that, knocks your socks off, shows up in your front door one day, and you don't know how to act and how to behave, you're only gonna push her away. And good people like that don't come along very often. So you gotta be ready. So so my next slide is, your perception isn't her perception. Meaning that what you feel, let's just say, I've seen a lot of guys that tell me, hey, I went on this date, the date went well, it was great, and then she's like, well, but I don't know why she's not responding back to me. Well, your perception isn't her perception, that's why. Just because you think you had a great date doesn't mean that she had a great date. You don't know that. What you do know is that if you could judge her by her level of interest, by how much she's contacting you as well, and I'm just assuming that she's a normal, happy, healthy woman. We want space and love at the same time. So, Crystal, I'm so glad that you said that, because yes, women want their space. And when you said you want love at the same time, that sentence contradicts you it's very contradictory to a guy that does not understand this. A guy that doesn't understand it is like, wait, so you're telling me you want space, but yet you want me to love you? Pick one. It's like, no, you don't do that. So that's why men who understands women are loved by women. If you could understand and master this and understand that love is allowing, love is giving her space, love is allowing her to come and go as she pleases. Now, of course, you're gonna have to set and enforce healthy boundaries. But when she wants your love, she's going to want your love. You're going to know it. She's gonna be around you. She's gonna be calling you. She's gonna be texting you. She's gonna be doing all those things, whether you're a guy or not. You can give space and love at the same time. And I believe that, well, attraction grows in space. You need time away from each other to let her wonder about you. Like, wonder what he's doing. How come he's not calling me? Maybe he's a little bit busy and I want his attention right now, but I know he's busy. He's probably at work, or he's probably at the gym doing his thing. Like, he's probably doing something and I want his attention and I can't get a hold of him. Well, when he does show you that love and affection, well, guess what? You're gonna appreciate it more, realizing two separate people, but also one and the same. Yep. So you got to be your own individual. So, and that's why whenever I'm coaching people, I always let them know that, hey, as you are going into this relationship, remember one of the most important things, this is a little side topic, but one of the most important thing is to remember that you are your own individual, that you don't lose yourself, that person is not your other half. That person is not your other half. You are your own complete person, sharing each other's completeness. And that is how this is how you don't depend on each other to be happy. Like, I'm happy with you And I'm also happy without you too. But when you're around me, you just make me that much more happier. And so why wouldn't I want to spend time with you? That's the type of mentality. That's the type of mindset that you want. So anyways, your perception isn't her perception. Maybe you went on a few dates. Y'all even hooked up. Okay, y'all had fun. She's all over you when you're with her, and the next she's becoming distant. But say for example, maybe you guys have each other's social media, so she still checks your stories. Maybe she might even like some of your posts or something like that, whatever, you know. And unless she directly contacts you, I'm saying like she went to your DM and said, hey, how you been, blah blah blah, or she texted you like, hey, what's going on, blah blah blah. Unless she does that, you do not assume anything. So if she likes your stuff or she watches your story, it don't mean shit. In other words, the only thing that matters is if she directly messages you or she calls you. That is when you, as a guy, you just assume that she wants your attention, and so you set up a next date, because that's how you build attraction. And you're not there spending 20-30 minutes on a phone back and forth texting each other, because you have to understand that your phone is a tool. Texting is a tool to get them out. You're not there to get to know each other. And so now she's all over you, and now she's distant, but she checks your stories. Okay. Number one, you can't let that bother you. Number two, you have to continue to be doing what you've always been doing. So if you're constantly posting photos of, like for me, like if you check my Instagram, I have a bunch of random shit every now and then. And then every now and then you see some dance videos, maybe some memes or whatever. And then, you know, I love posting cats. Okay, that's just my jam. Okay, I love posting cats. So you see a lot of that. And so if you've always been doing that, don't go out of your way to, you know, because I've heard guys like, well, she's not really talking to me. She's becoming hot and cold. And so like, should I try to do something like maybe post stories, because she watches my stories? Maybe I could post stories of me going out on a date, or I'm around other women, so that I was like, no, you should absolutely not do that, because you're doing it because you're trying to get something out of it. And it's about you. And it's about, basically, you're saying that I can't control my emotions, and so now I want to get back at somebody because of that. Think of how childish that sounds. And so it becomes very unattractive really fast. And if she spots that, she's gonna be like, well, now you're gone. Before you were at least, you know, I was kind of giving you a chance, but now you're gone. All right, so continue to do what you've always been doing. That's fine. Stay consistent with what you've been doing, okay? If you were posting photos of you going out and eating with random people, well, continue doing that, all right? I'm not saying don't do it, but just continue doing what you always did. So now the mindset is like, well, how would you act if you were tired of being around her? How would you act? To be not one person in a relationship. Absolutely, Crystal. So the mindset is like, yeah, how would you act if you were tired of her? Tired of being around her? Like, her again. Yeah, she's beautiful. Okay, yeah. How would you act? How would you act if you were too busy and too focused on the things that you have to do? So, how were you? Say, for example, today I was at the gym and I needed my own time. So that means that I needed to step away. I was there working out. I was there to do my cardio. I was there and I just needed to focus. And I stayed focused, which meant that I didn't do anything else but focus on the things I needed to do. I didn't text nobody. I thought about certain things. I was like, oh yeah, I do need to do this when I get home. I need to post this up so that people would know that, you know, like things like that. So you got to continue what you always done, and you got to focus on the things that you need to do as a guy, and you just got to do it. And she's going to be wondering about you, like, hey, how come he didn't do this? And how come, but you're not doing that specifically to run game, but you're just doing it because you're just busy. You're just this busy person. And sometimes people want their own space. And today I wanted my own space. I'm just like, yeah, I just need my own time, and that's it. And so, and it's not to be taken personal. It's like, oh, he didn't want to talk to me. But it's more like, no, I just need my own time, and this is how I operate. And so you're also looking to vet out certain prospects too as well, where if they start getting upset at you because you didn't say hi that morning, it's like, well, is that something that you want to deal with for the rest of your life? Ask yourself that question. Is that person easygoing, easy to get along? If that person is not that person, well, maybe that person's helping you reveal who they really are. And so keep that type of mindset. How would you act if you were tired of being around her? How would you act if you were really busy and you're too focused? You wouldn't be on your phone all the time. So you must go in with the attitude of, I like to see if this person has similar goals and similar values as me. Is she easygoing? Is she going to make my life more difficult? Like, these are really valuable questions that you want to ask. Some people get really cold and pissy. Yeah, and those are people that reveals who they are to me. I'm like, thank you, because you saved myself time. Now I don't want to be around you anymore. And so they're doing me a favor by showing me who they really are. And from what Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. And so if that's the person that does not resonate with you, well, guess what? They do not deserve your gift and the gift of your time, something that you would never get back. And so most people, and I've said this plenty of times, that most people could hide themselves for who they are for the first 90 days. So especially if this is a first time, or maybe you're 3-4 dates in, usually about once a week dates, usually. Okay. And you're a few dates in. Look, it takes about 90 days for someone, like, this whole vetting process. And even then, people can still kind of hide who they are. But most of the time, you're going to start seeing some flaws of what this person is and what this person does. Within the first 90 days, people could hide that. So the whole vetting process is, you got 3 months, roughly 3 months. So take time, understand. And you have to remember this as a guy, that, and when a woman likes you, when she will want your attention all the time, especially when she's in love with you, she's gonna want your attention all the damn time. And then on top of that, you're doing everything right. You're allowing her, you're giving her space. But when she comes to you, you give her your attention, you date her, sex is great, she's going to want to lock you down. And so that's the problem with today's world, is that I see too many guys trying to lock a woman down. It's like, why? Why do you need to lock her down? Because maybe some part of you is saying that if I don't lock her down, she might go with somebody else. And that is a very, very weak behavior. That's not coming from a place of strength. And so, like I said, if she likes you, she's going to want your attention. She will give you her attention. She's going to respond back to your text. Unless she's like super busy, okay? But she's going to want your attention. And like Bree, I'm going to use you as an example. The excuse that you used was like, damn, I just want to be home, blah, blah, blah. Like, because this one dude was clingy as shit. But let's just say his name was Jay Park. And Jay Park was like, hey, yo, I'm in town. I'm in Washington, right? Where I'm from. You're not far from there. Let's go get something to eat. But hey, you have kids though. Now all of a sudden, kids ain't no problem. Shit, I'll hire a babysitter. I'll do this. I'll figure that out. Hey, Ma, you think you can watch the kids for like 2 hours? Why? Jay Park asked me out to go eat. I don't know where we going, but we going. That's if it goes that way. I'm just saying. Assuming you're single and everything. And yeah, Jay Park, come on, right? But now, regular Joe down the street that's extra clingy, what kind of excuses y'all making? What kind of excuses y'all making right now? I'm too busy. I already ate. I'm not even hungry right now. Oh, maybe we could get some coffee. Nah, coffee don't do well. I don't do well with caffeine. Well, what do you like to drink? Well, I got water at home. That's the type of excuse that y'all gonna make. I don't always have a babysitter. Well, hey, Jay Park, this might be a little bit not the best time, and I know I might have to bring my babies with me. Is that all right? You're gonna make it there. You're gonna find a way, okay? Shit, if this was Jay, I would definitely be coming over just to have a drink. Yeah, right? just maybe get to know them. So it's like if your interest level is high enough. So what does it tells me? It tells me that if she was once hot for you and now she's not, usually it's an attraction issue, but also it's, well, you never know what's going on in her life. So also, I know I'm getting a little over myself with this, but like, you're looking for someone that's ready, that's willing, and that's able. So if she's ready, but she's not willing to do certain things and she's not able to do it, well, guess what? It's not gonna work. You remember that where there's a will, there's a way. Like, you're looking for someone that's ready, willing, and able. Maybe she's ready, but she's not willing and she's not able. Okay, like you need all three in order for things to work. And so we're saying I have to bring my kids. I definitely would be saying I have to bring. That's the first test. If you do bad being around my kids, then you're not it. Yeah. And so, hey, but Jay Park, I'm in town. Is it Tomiko? Tomiko? She's like, anything for Jay. You're gonna bring your own speakers. You're gonna play Mummy. You be like, just go. I always wanted to see this dance in person. All right, so a woman that likes you, she's gonna want your attention all the time. You're gonna know it. She's gonna be within your proximity, whether it's physical. She's gonna like send you messages, like things like that. It's gonna happen. And women that likes a guy, they're gonna be a little bit more aggressive, to a point where actually there's some beautiful women that I've seen that gotten a little bit too aggressive sometimes. Like, how come you don't want it? Now I'm just turned off. I just don't. You're beautiful, and I know many guys would love to be around you, would love to take you out, but you're also turning me off right now too, because it's a little aggressive. It's a little aggressive, and that does not excite me. And so I hope you have a great day. So now I do want to talk about certain people out there. And look, I'm a coach. I'm supposed to get you to where you want to be. But also what I do know is that we as humans, we have basic human needs. And one of our basic human needs is love and connection. And people that tells me that they don't want love or they're tired of that shit. And I'm like, if someone showed up in your front door, it's always your front door, rang your doorbell, right? Jay Park. He rang your doorbell and he shows up and he's great to you. He gets you excited, gets you happy. You're telling me you're going to be like, nope, I don't want that shit. Hell no. It's people that saying that they don't want it, usually because they don't got it. They don't got it. They don't know how to get it. And that's why they're like, I'm tired of it. It's by choice. And I get it. Okay. But maybe it's a coping mechanism for them. But now, what I'm trying to get at is if your goals are shallow. Now, as a guy, I've heard a lot of guys that get upset about women and they're like, I'm tired of them. I don't want, like, they literally have their own community and they kind of go their own way, right? Where it's like, I just want to hook up. I don't want to be in a relationship. By all means, you don't need to be in a relationship. But what I am saying is if your goals are shallow, so will your relationships. So will the things that you be doing. It's very shallow. It doesn't really get anywhere. And the moment it gets too far, you stop it. So what I am saying is good things comes to those who wait. And when I say wait, I'm not saying you just sit there and not do anything. You got to be doing something. You got to be bettering yourself. You have to move slightly slower than she does. That's it. You just got to move slightly slower. And if you move slightly slower than she does, she's going to want you. Gosh, if I had an interaction with her, I'll be so nervous. If a man I like shows effort, I'm going to show effort right back. But if you're giving me Drake, I don't know what's a Drake call. You got to go. I don't know what's a Drake call. You got to educate me on that. Definitely a moment in my life like that too. Yeah, so you got to wait. You got to be slightly slower, move slightly slower than she does. You know, because you have to understand, you have to read between the lines too. You have to pick up on certain cues. It's like so there's body language. If a woman you're talking to is she's constantly playing with her hair. She's constantly grooming, fixing her shirt or dress or whatever, and she's putting on makeup. She's dolling herself, like she's trying to look good for you. So that's a sign. And if you're walking and she's close to you and her hands bumping into you, like that's proximity. Like if she wants to be around you, her hands are gonna bump into you. So guess what? She's gonna hand holding. It's okay. And if you're talking, you're having a great time, and you want to give her a kiss, look at her lips, look at her eyes, back to her lips, back to her eyes. And if any point she looks at your lips, you go for the kiss. And if she really backs away, a denial doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. It means it means there's a slight delay, and that's okay. When she pulls away a little bit, you pull back, you allow her, and then wait for maybe 15-20 minutes, see if she's willing to do it again. Most of the time she is. I want to party, I'm not ready for a relationship, I just want casual and no emotions. Yeah, some people have that. Some people are like, hey, because you're not ready, and that's okay. But eventually you want to get back. But some people, that's just like, hey, I don't ever want to be in a relationship. Like, come on, like, really? Or is it because you just didn't have anyone good in your life? Because you're not a great person in your own life, and you're not exciting to be around. You know what I mean? And some people are really good at putting up fronts that's all they do. But they never get past anywhere, because that front eventually gets revealed. And then when it gets revealed, people really actually see who they are. And they're like, shit, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. And so it's like, well, it's a reflection of who you are. So if your goals are shallow, so are your relationships, okay? Now, but if your goal is to see if your goal, you're walking in, you have this right mindset of like, hey, look, I'm going in with this idea of, is she a right match for me? Like, I want to see if she's like, hey, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't know if she's in the right headspace. I need to vet her. I want to see if she's a good prospect in my life. Otherwise, I got to keep my options open. I'm not just going to say yes to anybody. I need to make sure that she is a good person, that's good to me, good for my soul. She's going to make my life easier, not more difficult, okay? There was a great line, which was, you want a woman that makes your thing hard, not your life hard. And so you want to make sure that she makes that hard, not the other way around, all right? Someone easygoing, easy to get along with, that lights you up inside. Someone you're excited to see all the damn time. That's someone that is worth being around, because it makes you become a better person, which makes her want to become a better person. And so you guys become this great couple together. So going with the attitude of like, yeah, what does she like, basically what does she have to offer in my life? Because my life, I'm not just going to spend it with anybody. So what ends up happening is that your demeanor, your attitude will be totally different. You're not going to come across as needy and desperate. You just kind of be like, hey, I don't really know. Like, what do you like to do for fun? Versus, oh my God, you're so pretty. You see the difference? All right. 2 more. And I'll try to be quicker with this. So, third slide is becoming too invested. Okay, it is all, like I said before, it is always better if a woman thinks she likes you more than you like her. She treats you better, and they want more of your time. But that also means that if she gives you her time and gives you her love, her attention, that you understand that there is another responsibility on your end, where if you don't want to be around her, you gotta let her know. But if you really want to be around her, well, guess what? You're gonna want to spend more time with her. You want to take her out. You want to get her out on a date. You hang out, you have fun, and maybe y'all hook up. Those are the only 3 things that you really have to do. Coach Corey Wayne, all right? 3 things that you have to do to focus: hang out, have fun, and hook up. Those are only 3 things, okay? And for the ladies, that's like, well, is sex the only thing? No. But if you're having such a great time with each other, wouldn't you want to be around each other? Wouldn't you want to be a little bit more intimate? Of course you do, because you want his attention. And so you wouldn't give it to a guy that does not deserve it. So now, it is part of feminine energy to bond and connect with you. When a guy, the masculine energy, is more interested, and she knows that he is more interested or invested into her, she starts losing attraction, because it kind of ruins the sexual polarity. It's too much feminine energy where the guy's like, come on, I want your attention. How come you're not giving me more attention? It becomes needy, and it could get sour really fast. Kind of like leaving milk in the sun. So the goal is to move slightly slower than she is. Be careful not to get caught up in her emotions and her type of mood swings, because it does happen. Woman that becomes hot and cold, you don't know what's going on. You don't know whether or not she's a structured woman. And women that are structured, and if you are, I encourage you to kind of break that type of habit, because I know women that are out there that's like, I would never kiss on a first date. I won't do this. I won't do that. And it's like, it's too structured. You're not acting accordingly to how your own natural behavior or natural feminine energy, which is being this feminine energy as feeling and understanding. And if you like him and you want to kiss him, but you're stuck to these type of rules where you're like, well, I heard somewhere out there you never give a guy a kiss. You don't kiss him, never on a first date, but you really like him, everything's good. Then it's like, well, it's kind of it's gonna ruin your type. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. I act what is going on in a moment. Absolutely. And so that's why if you're too structured, you got to be careful with that. Because if you follow certain ways, because it's just like how I always dog on guys in the red pill community, where they always blame women and all women are like this and all modern women's like that. The same thing goes for the other side. It's called feminism. And when you have too much of that and you want a guy in your life and you want a good guy, but you don't have anyone, it's no wonder you're going to be upset about it. And so you build this community to reinforce a certain type of behavior that you have because you believe in it so much. But what if you just kind of open up a little bit and you start dating and you vetted your dating prospects correctly and you see them for who they are, not what you want them to be, and you understand what you want and they're giving you what it's like, you just, what you don't know. So you got to learn, you got to understand this. And so anyways, let's go back. So be careful not to get too caught up in her emotions and her mood swings. It's not attractive to her. If you get bothered and you get basically derailed, you're no longer centered as a guy. It's very unattractive. So that is not masculine energy. Masculine energy is calm, it's cool, it's collected. It's kind of like this James Bond. He's not bothered. So basically, you don't allow her emotions to get to you. So the key is to be indifferent. And indifference is a difference that makes the difference. It's like, look, if she doesn't want to be around you, well, guess what? Then you don't give her your time. And it's not to be bitter and upset about it. It's like, well, I thought we had a good time, but I guess we were wrong. So it's okay. It's not that you don't care. It's not like, oh, I don't care. People that actually says that they don't care, they're actually caring a lot more. But it's just like, hey, you know what? I am me. I thought we had a great time and I guess I was wrong. So I hope you have a wonderful life. And that's it. You will never hear from me ever again. And that's okay, because there's plenty of other people in the world. So indifference is a difference that makes a difference. So now you want to be a little bit unpredictable. So if you notice that she doesn't respond to you right away, well, or as quick as she used to do or normally does, well, then, take a step back. Take a step back. It's okay. Take a little bit longer to respond. Do focus. What's even better is that if she responds to you, like, let's just say you sent a text and normally she gets back to you within 20-30 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, whatever, and now she gets back within 4 or 5 hours. Well, what it means is that you need to do the same thing, as in you want to match or mirror her type of actions, because you don't want to reward that type of behavior. So what it means is that, well, be focused and be busy within yourself so that it will take you a few hours for you to respond back, because you're a busy guy. You're supposed to be focusing on your mission and purpose. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer for you to respond back to her, because now she's not your priority anymore. Because why? She doesn't make you her priorities, and so that's fine. And it's not to be upset and bitter and play games about it, but it's more like, well, you want to give the people what they deserve, and if they don't respond back right away, well, guess what? They don't deserve your time. And if they don't respond within 24 hours, and you know, it does happen every now and then, where some people might message me and my message get filtered and it goes all the way down, or maybe accidentally I seen it, and you know, things like that. It does happen. But for most of the time, it's like, well, within 24 hours, unless I'm on this hiatus and I don't check on anything, then it's like, it becomes rude at some point. It's like, well, you're always responding a day or two later. It's like, that's not good. I have a question, but I'll message you on IG about it. Okay. So yeah, anyways, take a little bit longer to respond back. But now you still don't want to be rude and be like, I'm gonna leave her a read receipt. Now you're just being passive aggressive. You don't want to do that. Okay. It's just, look, you give what she's willing to give too as well. And if you allow her to come to you and she's not respecting your time and she doesn't want your time, she doesn't value it, then put your value somewhere else. If you have value to offer to, if you have true value to offer to other people, you're gonna be scarce to other people's eyes. And if she doesn't see that value, that's okay, because other people will. And when other people want you more, she's gonna be like, wait, hold up, did I just lose something good? Well, that's her problem now, because you gave her a chance and she doesn't want it. And so you give other people a better opportunity to get to know the better version of you. And so that's why it is always better to continue to become a better person. Like, the best investment is yourself. And now, what not to do. Okay, what not to do is that if you're emotionally invested and you know it, you know you're emotionally invested, you're like, she's the best thing since, you know, peanut butter sandwiches and on white bread with no crust, right? And some jam. And you're like, I'm obsessed. I can't help it. This is how I feel, and this is how I feel. I can't do anything about it. Well, I encourage you to just take a step back and recenter yourself. As a guy, you want to recenter yourself, because you trying to get her attention again after you sent that text, or you told her, hey, or she says she's busy and she's like, well, I'll get back to you when she's, you know, when she has more time, and you say, well, all right, well, get back to me when you have more, when you know your schedule is free. And then 2 weeks, and you hung up or text or whatever, and 2 weeks has gone by, and then you ask her again, like, oh, hey, have you figured out your schedule? How weak do you look? Just imagine that type of behavior. It means that you're a guy that is not congruent with your own words and actions. And that is very weak. And so you just convey to her that you don't know how to control your emotions. You're emotionally unstable because you don't know how to control your emotions. It's very weak. Let's see. I've been obsessed with my long-term on and off person since 15. Excuse me. But I'm ready to actually have something now that we're both older and had a lot of experience. Does your is it friend? On and off. Okay, so is this person willing to have that? So that's very important, because you both have to be ready for it. And if you're not, and if you're unsure, both of you are unsure, well, try it out. That's a word. What could possibly go wrong? It doesn't work out. I'm sorry. I thought we had something since we were 15, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know. He says he does, but he's a rapper. That's also so scary. So, since 15, how old are you now? And as you're telling me that, I'm going to continue on. All right. So take a step back and recenter yourself. If you know you're like, damn, I have these feelings, I can't, recenter yourself, dude. Take a step back, okay? Because the reason you want to call her back most of the time, as a guy, Because the reason you want to call her back is because you need reassurance to see if she still likes you. Oh, okay. You just had a totally different name. Yeah. So it's still feminine energy. It's still feminine energy, and it's not attractive to her. Anytime when a guy behaves more like a chick, she's gonna treat you like a chick. And what she wants is a man. And if you're unable to provide her that ability, that leadership, she's gonna find it somewhere else. And so, yeah, with this long-term person, you just gotta make sure. Like, you also have to date you might known him for ever since you were 15, so half your life. But you still have to understand, like, you don't really get to know somebody until you really get to know them. And I'm saying you gotta live with this person. You gotta be talking, like, you know what I mean? What were some of like the red flags that showed up? Or maybe there isn't any type of red flags and this person's perfect to you. Like, my thing is, most people could hide themselves for at least 90 days. It's gonna take some time for you to be around that person consistently enough for them to kind of reveal who they are. And the fact that you're saying that, you know, he's a rapper and it's scary, I don't know what that means, but you know it more than I do. So that's a really important question for you to ask. And I'm not saying this to scare you away from not wanting to be with this person, but I'm just saying, like, this is a vetting process. So you have to understand, like, do I want to be with this person? Is there a type of future? Or am I just going in with this idea of, I really like this person, and it was on and off. It's about half my life. Now we're both available. And it's like, well, where do you see yourself? Because I'm assuming if you want to be with somebody, you want to be with them long term. And if you want to be with that person long term, how is that person going to treat you? Does this person make your life easy? Is this person easygoing and easy to get along with? Does this person get bothered easily, emotionally unstable or not? Like, these are very important questions to ask. And so if you're not ready to ask yourself these type of questions, like, really take a step back and think about it before getting too invested. Because I've seen, that's why, like, the statistic shows, it's like a lot of people break up. A lot of people have divorces. 70 to 75% of women are the one that initiate breakups. And it's like, and I'm talking about divorces. And that's not to even say that women or people that are in marriages or in regular boyfriend-girlfriend relationship or any type of relationship, that they're happy. So it's always super important to understand, like, I make it my personal goal that whenever I'm with my girl, I want to make sure that when she wakes up next to me every morning, that she feels like she made the best choice by being with me. And the reason why is because I am complete myself, and I could give her my completeness as well. So let's see, it's weird. He's my best friend. We linked up, and I'm so confused. When you say y'all linked up, I'm assuming y'all hooked up. Now, what does he want? What do you want? And, like, just be honest. Yeah, be honest. I mean, you're both adults. We could talk about it. So, like, was it? Excuse me. It's probably all those food I ate. Yeah, be honest with me. Like, hey, you know, I love you as you're my best friend. Blah blah. And be honest. Like, was that thing? Like, be honest. Like, was that more of like a hookup kind of thing, or like, where do you see it? Because if you're not sure, and it's part of feminine energy to bond and connect, but you also want someone that's willing to be honest with you. But if she's not happy with herself, ain't no way, or what you gonna do to keep her happy? Absolutely. And justice, right? Yeah, it's not your job to change them. You can't change anybody. Changing somebody is illusion, because or controlling somebody to have them change to the way you want. It's an illusion. It's not real. The only way that you could have lasting change is if you could inspire that type of change. It's like, if this person wants to become better, that's different. And so for me, it's like, look, maybe you're not where you want to be in the beginning, and you always want to do that, but you just needed a little nudge, and I was that nudge for you. Then absolutely. But for me, I need someone that takes care of themselves, whether it's physically, mentally, and emotionally. I need them to take care of themselves. Why? Because life is hard enough as it is. I don't need it to be any more difficult. So when I come back home, I want to be, most of the time, I want to be in a happy place, because that's where I call home. I'm coming back to it. I want to be excited about it so that I could go back out there and enjoy it even more and let that snowball effect continue on. And so why would I want to come back to somebody that's like, damn, I can't wait to unleash my fucking energy. I'm this pent up, like Mitchell forgot to do the dishes before he leaves. He keeps leaving his socks on the floor, like things like that. Now, I'm always willing to compromise, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want someone that's going to make my life difficult. You know what I mean? I want someone that's going to be easygoing and easy to get along with. And I know that is what I want. And if that's what I want, I'm going to demand that for myself. And that's not being selfish. Well, I guess you could say it is. It is selfish because it's about me and that's what I want. But they know it before I got into the relationship. What are you doing on YouTube? I mean, what's your content type? My content is dating and relationships. And so today I'm talking about women that have hot and cold behaviors. I'm a life coach, yeah. So, last slide is beautiful women have more options, okay? Let me finish this. I know it's been an hour already. So, beautiful women have more options. But their options doesn't necessarily mean that they're great options. And so the only thing that you can do as the guy, if you're trying to date and court her, is what? To be her most irresistible option. How? By doing more things right than wrong. So let's break it down. About 9 out of 10 guys will do most of this, right? Most men, when they're around a woman of beauty, actually, like beautiful women, what they will do is, let's just say you got her number already. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to bombard her, flood her with text messages, ask her how her day was. I don't know. Do y'all still get good morning texts from, assuming you're single and you still get good morning texts from a guy that's not even your boyfriend? I mean, it makes sense when you're watching movies and you're like, oh my God, this person said good morning to me. And it's like, well, yeah, it's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. How to be friends with a girl. Again, we had a horrible fight. Well, you gotta give me a little bit more of a context here. So what happened? How long you been together? Are you guys exclusive? Things like that. So most men, he'll want to continue to talk to her and text her over the phone. Most men. Okay, so you want to do more things right than wrong. Do this instead. If she's texting you and bothering you, right? You're just gonna be like, hey, when are you free? When are you free? I'd love to get to know you a little bit more over some drinks or maybe over some dinner, because you're a busy guy. You're not gonna want to spend all your time texting her back and forth, even though it might be fun. Get to know her in person. You want to see how she responds to you in person. Maybe she's a little bit shy. We'll break that shyness off of her. Be like, let's get you loosened up a little bit. Do you drink? Do you drink? Oh no, I only drink tea. Well, what kind of tea do you like? What kind of food do you like? We were at school together. We didn't see her for two to 3 years. Let's see. How to be friends with a girl again, and we had a horrible fight. We fought on Instagram. And you're the guy, I'm assuming, right? You're the guy? Was it? Okay. First things first. Men who understands women, don't argue with them. You don't argue with women. And I get a lot of BS, some bullshit for saying that. It's like, you don't argue with women. No, I don't. I've not argued with my girl. I've been upset and I let her know this is what I'm upset about. But I don't yell at her. So anyways, we found it on Instagram. Okay. I'm gonna let you continue on. Okay. So it's been a minute and you want to resolve this. The only thing that it sounds like that you can do, because it sounds like it's been a minute, right? It's been 2 to 3 years. and you fought and y'all stopped. I don't know the context of this whole fight and how it ended, who started it, and things like that. But rejection, let me tell you this, rejection breeds obsession. If she was the one that was like, nah, you know what, F you, I want to cut it out, well, guess what? It's gonna want you, it's gonna breed more obsession on your end. So you're gonna want more, you're gonna want her more, because it wasn't your decision to break it off. It was her decision. Now, if you were the one that broke it off, shit, damn, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. It's been 2 to 3 years. You know, I don't know if you're willing, or you know, if you're even up to this, but let me know if you want to, you know, go, you know, maybe I can meet you at a coffee shop somewhere a little bit quiet. I'd love to talk to you again. I want to see what's going on, what happened, and maybe there was a miscommunication, or you know, it's been years. So I love to be able, even if we're not able to resolve it right away, maybe we're able to at least get in common grounds and understand that maybe we could. I don't get girls. She hurt me. Now she's acting like I did something bad. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? If it's not worth it, especially when you get to the point of screaming in matches. Yeah, it's like, no, you don't want to do that. As you're saying it, I'm gonna continue on with this. So I did say most men continue to talk and text. Do this instead. When when are you free? I'd love to get to know you a little bit more over some drinks. And then if you're a guy, you want logistics matter. Okay, evenings only. Lunch dates, don't do that. I mean, does it mean that it won't happen? It will. It's just, well, why set yourself up for more failure? Okay. Now, I've heard of lunch dates going well. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but the probability, things happen more at night. Okay. So most men don't take the lead. So do this instead. Set a definite date and a time. So great, I will see you at such and such at blank time on blank day. So I'm gonna use Olive Garden. All right, I haven't seen one in a minute. So great, I'll see you at Olive Garden on Monday at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever. Right? If you get there first, get us a table, and if I get there first, I'll get us a table. Okay, and you know, I'm just pulling examples. Another one would be men that get too sexually aggressive. I know guys that are too aggressive. Like if you don't know what you're doing and you start saying some things, it's gonna cause her to be like, ugh, give her the ick. Olive Garden, I want the bread. So do this instead. Look for signs of attraction and escalate slowly. So if you see that she's kind of comfortable touching you, well, maybe play a game. Hey, give me your hand. All of a sudden, I feel like I do palm reading. Get some what they call it, kino escalation. So you're touching, right? So those are just examples. There's plenty more, but it's like a lot of guys, most of the thing is, it's like, well, are you willing to be confident enough to take the lead? Because most guys don't take the lead, and it's very unattractive to women, and it causes her to be hot and cold. And so to eliminate a lot of that, and when it does happen to you, my major question to you is, well, why is it bothering you so much? And how come it's getting you so stifled and so bothered that is basically causing you to spend more time thinking about why she's being hot and cold and not enough on your mission and purpose? Because if you're on your mission and purpose, and then you start focusing on doing more things right, not only will you may attract her back in your life, you're going to attract way more other people. And women like you more when she sees that you're very successful with other women, and if she's trying to get at you, but you choose her, she's going to be like, damn, I made the right choice too as well. Because you understand women, and men who understands women are loved by women. So just remember that it is always better to go with the mindset of, really, like, what does she have that is good to offer in my life? What is she offering in my life? This will help keep you from coming across too desperate and needy. Well, my problem is I act weird, nervous, and around girls. That's the first one. Maybe that's why she's not very attracted to that type of behavior. And so when it does happen, it's like you got that certain type of, so you got to go out there and build your skills up and just talk. Look, I'm gonna give you a little homework. Is it D? Just go out, you don't even have to say hi, just make eye contact. And so here's your first homework. Go out. You can use your phone. You're going to look at 5 women, okay? 5 women. Look at them in the eye. And if they look at you, give them a smile. Say hi. Have a great day. What time is it? You're beautiful. Whatever. I don't care what you say. Most important thing is I want you to understand that it's eye contact, because it's not showing dominance, it shows confidence. And I guess you could say it's part of dominance too as well. And some women, they love to be dominated. I'm just saying. And so when you're able to go out there and look at them in the eye, you're going to make sure that you get the eye contact. So that's your homework, okay? Go out there 5 eye per day. Do it on the weekdays, okay? 5. Look at them in the eye and say, hi, how's it going? You might get some weird ass, well, they will say, I'm a creep. Well, guess what? You probably never see them again. And if they be like, oh, that's creepy, you'd be like, hey, I'm trying to get better. As long as you're honest, hey, look, I know we just made eye contact. That was a little weird. I'm very nervous. My coach told me to make eye contact, and you were one of the first person I saw. So anyways, what's your name? Hi. You have very pretty eyes. What color are they? They're brown. Okay, write them down. Brown, blue, green, I don't care. Whatever eye color it is, just make eye contact. Okay, if it's creepy, eventually you'll figure it out. Okay, but the thing is, you're not doing it at all. So you might not know what you want to do, but you just can't do nothing and just say, oh, I'm just weird around women. You could become better. So go out there, just 5 eye contacts. Okay, give it a shot. Maybe even start out with 2. I don't care, as long as you're doing it. The heaviest weight at the gym is usually getting through the front door. So right now, you just got to go out there. Okay, so let me see, what was I? Okay, you don't want to come across as too desperate. You're looking for someone who is going to add value into your life, not make your life more difficult. So it's never too late to invest in yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. People will see that. And as long as you're working on yourself, you have a mission, you have things that you want to work at, and you just become better and better at it, eventually someone's gonna notice it. Eventually. But in the meantime, if you're a guy and you're just sitting there, you don't really have a purpose, you're always upset about certain things, and it's like your life isn't where we want it to be, you have the ability to change that. You're not a tree. Okay, you can move, you could figure things out. If you're saying, damn, I don't have enough money to move, well, you can save up where you're at and stop spending a lot of shit. Maybe work overtime. I don't know, do something, figure it out, and then find your own place. Maybe you're in your home and you're in your early 20s and you're like, shit, I could never bring women home because my mom's always home, or blah blah blah's always home, and they always bother me and things like, and it bothers you, and it disrupts your privacy. Well, guess what? You have the ability to change that. You have things that you could change. And so it's never too late to invest in yourself. All right. That being said, guys, I know it's a little over an hour. Had a lot of fun doing this topic, hot and cold behaviors in women. I'm going to be talking about a summary, which is the things we've been talking about. You say, I'm shy. How can I make girlfriend without talking? How can you get a girlfriend without talking much? Well, you have to be able to get past that. Like, if you're shy, eventually you just got to go out there and talk. That's okay. It was a great topic. Thank you, Bree. Got to be able to just go out there and have a good time. Because if you're excited about your life, other people can notice that too. So I noticed here, let me give you an example, okay, before I go in my summary. So there were days like today when I woke up, I was like, damn, I didn't have the best sleep, but I know I needed to go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym right now, but I have a plan. So I planned it. Today's back day. So I went there, I did back. Yeah, okay, I got a cup of coffee or, a little caffeinated drink. Hyped me up a little bit. Feeling a little bit better. Did the first few sets. Feeling great. Feeling amazing. So I'm listening to my music, and that's just who I am at the gym. I listen to my music, and I'm having a great time. And when I'm having a great time, what I notice that is when I look at people, I'm smiling naturally. And so they smile at me, guy or girl, it doesn't matter. I'm having a great time. So when they smile at me, I smile back. And guess what? Maybe they don't know who I am. They don't know who I am, but they know me enough that now the next time they see me, I'm just this happy guy. So what does that mean? It means that you're gonna be more easier to be approached. Thank you. You made me realize I'm not going to text him. I'm just going to give myself a spa day and drink some wine. You could do that too. Okay, you could do that too. But, if you guys are ever interested, I don't know how committed I can do to my Sundays because I have another event and it's ruining my Sundays at 5:30 p.m. But I'll always be here on Saturdays at 12, okay? Didn't feel like an hour long. Well, it's also because it's like I woke up and I didn't have like the best day, but I made myself have a great day. So I'm telling you that even if I didn't have the best day, I'm able to still have some sort of ability to control that to make my day even better. And you can only do what you can do. And I always try to focus on the things I can do versus what I cannot do. And so an example is what you're saying is it D, you said I'm a shy person. Well, guess what? You might be shy now, but the bigger question, the major question is, well, how can I be less shy? How can I do this? Go in with a better attitude of going out there. Well, Mitchell told me that he said 5 eye colors. And the reason why I say that is because you have to look at the eyes. You have to make eye contact in order to see what the eye color is. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what it is. Don't fake it and be like green. And when, like, really, be honest. What eye color? What's my eye color? Look at me. And you look at me through the lens. Okay? So that's one for you, all right? Go out there and talk to people. And just, be a social butterfly. Have a good time. When you love yourself and you're excited about your own life, it's easier to get someone else excited too as well. But if you're always not excited about life, it's really difficult to get somebody excited about yours. Okay, so summary time. Why do women get hot and cold? So there could be an ex involved. She could be more emotionally anchored to him. She just got out of a relationship. You don't know that, right? She could have more dating prospects. You're not her priority. But the major question is, it's like, why is it bothering you so much? Why is this one girl bothering you so damn much? Okay, when there are plenty of other women out there. And I used to have that too, okay? I used to have this mindset of like, damn, I really want her. This is the only, I don't want anybody else. It's like, that could get very ugly and very desperate. And that sense of energy is, look, that's not even who I am. And I'm disgusted by it now, okay? Ugh. All right. Your perception isn't her perception. So that's what we call projection. Oh my God, I like her. We had such a great date, but how come she's not talking to me? We had such a good time. It's like, no, you had such a good time, not me. So your perception isn't her perception, right? So the mindset is like, well, how would you act if you were tired of being around her? You're like, fuck her again. Shit. How would you act if you were too busy focused on the things that you have to do as a guy? Damn, I need to go to the gym. I want to talk to you, but I can't. I'm busy. Okay, I'm busy building my body. I'm busy taking care of myself, busy building my business. Figure it out. Do the things that you want to do, okay? And do the things you need to do. So, becoming too invested, okay? D, if you're still here and it's resonating with you, you're like, holy shit, you just found gold, all right? Becoming too invested. It's always better if a woman thinks she likes you more than you like her. It is always better. It's feminine energy, okay? For her to pursue you afterwards. If you are interested in her, go talk to her. Hey, I think you're very gorgeous. I'd love to get to know you. When's the next time you're available? I'd love to take you out on, to dinner or something. Do you like coffee? Do you like Japanese food? What do you like? Well, give me your number. I'll text you. We'll figure it out. Have a great day. Beautiful women have more options, okay? Options doesn't necessarily mean those are great options, okay? Women of beauty get hit on all the damn time. What are the great options? Well, until there's a great option, the only thing that you can do, that you can have control over, is being her most irresistible option. How? By taking care of yourself mentally, physically, being that fun person to be around with. And if you're shy and you're like, shit, I don't know how to be fun, well, do something that excites you. Do things that excites you. And once people see that, they're gonna want to get to know that a little bit more, and they get to know you a little bit more, and that's who you are. And so that's natural. So why wouldn't you want to do that? But that being said, that is the end of today's show. Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, of hot and cold behaviors in women. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next live. All right? Peace.